The civilian AR, controversial subject. This will probably get demonetized, but who cares? Let's do a video about it. This is my rifle.
Or for point of identification, or should you carry a set of binoculars or a monocular? You know, what would be that ideal setup? Obviously, we're in a heavily wooded environment, so magnification wise, you're only going to be able to see so far. But from a
part of the rebuilding of Prepared Wanderer channel and things that I want to do more in the future is I want to get out in the field more. I want to train more with my rifle, and that means not only just shooting it and becoming more proficient with it and being more familiar with it as a platform, but also just being able to carry it in the field, use it and carry it during certain exercises and trainings, because you know, being a civilian, I don't have that background, was not in the military, so I don't have the background of carrying a weapon around all the time. And I think it's a very different mindset. And you quickly learn things that you can and can't do, what's comfortable, what's not comfortable. So, you know, we buy these rifles and then we sit there and we look at all the cool guy photos on social media. We watch videos, movies, all this stuff, and it's all fantasy. There's no practicality to really most of it, because unless you're actually out in the field doing work with a weapon, carrying it, holding it, training with it, you're not going to know what you need, what works, what doesn't work, what's comfortable, what's going to break, all that crap. So part of the changes that I'm making on my channel about just being out in the field more, doing the work, getting the dirt time in, and not just bushcraft stuff, but also being more prepared. And that's part of that is, you know, being very familiar with my chosen weapon system. So what I wanted to do is I wanted to show this rifle to you. If you have not seen this in the past, you may want to check out a couple of videos. I think over a year ago, maybe 2 years, I did a video where I actually showed how I painted my rifles. And one question that keeps coming up, of course, with people who watch that video is, how's it holding up? And fairly well. It does wear in certain spots where you're handling it, but for the most part, the type of painting application that I did has held up very well. I use a very light touch when I paint my rifles and my gear, and that way I don't get a real heavy sticky buildup of paint. And this has held up amazingly well, and I think it looks pretty good. I like it. And then another video I did about a year ago is I actually went out and did some field training with my buddy Jay over at Modern Minuteman. Check out his YouTube channel. We walked through some field exercises, did some training out in the woods in the wintertime, and I got the opportunity to carry my rifle with my gear, the full battle rattle, and just see how that went. And that's something I want to do more of. So the rifle that we're looking at today, this is a PSA mid-length system. It's kind of interesting. I actually bought the lower, I think, first because they had a sale on it. And then I turned around and bought the upper later and just put the two together. It functions perfectly. I've had this out at the range quite a bit, and I have never had any issues with it. It is a 5.56 platform. It's fairly lightweight, I think. I went with a Primary Arms LPVO scope. That has exceeded my expectations. I had no experience with these types of scopes, and it does a great job. I enjoy using it. It works well for me. The forward grip, I believe this is just a mag pull. Works pretty well, fairly comfortable, low profile. And then my light is a through night. Not super stoked about it. It's okay. It does a good job. My issues with it is that it's a rechargeable light, so you have to take the light off of the gun and then charge it, or you have to plug the whole thing in with the gun. So it's kind of stupid, but it works. And then I used one of these, I think it's called 100 Concepts is the company. This is their flash kill protector. So that goes over the top of that. And that way, if I do activate the light accidentally, I'm not giving my position away, not flagging somebody with it, but that covers that up. And that actually does a really good job. It's a good product. I really like that. And then this multicam elastic, this is, I think, from Strike Industries. It's supposed to be a cable tamer. It gives you a place to actually put the flashlight pad, slips into a pocket, and then the rest of this goes around, and then your cabling can tuck inside of it. It's okay. I think it's probably more of a gimmick than is really needed. I mean, I still had to secure with a zip tie some of the cabling, but it does a good job. And I do like that with my bare hands, I can feel that material, and that kind of helps me index and find my light easily, because my grip is back here, my light's up just a little bit forward. So something that I want to change possibly in the future and mess with a little bit more is the light system. And then the bipod is kind of interesting. It looks a lot like the Magpul, but it's not. This is, I think the company is like Civ Life or something like that. It's an Amazon knockoff company, but the bipod that they make is really good. It's at the fraction of the price of the Magpul. I don't think it's a direct copy of it. It's very similar to it though, but it works fairly well. And the cool thing is, I can take it on and off pretty easily. These are the Magpul sling attachments. And then this sling, if I remember correctly, I got this off of Amazon as well. This is Idogear, Idogear. It's just a single point sling. It seems to be very well made. It works fairly well. You can adjust this thing pretty quickly as you're wearing it. So I really like that. And then all my mags are P mags. I have a good supply of these. They always work fairly well. I've never had any issues with them. I don't have any of the steel or aluminum USGI mags. So the thermoplastic ones seem to work just fairly well for me. They're inexpensive, they're easy to find, and I have a pretty good supply of those. This is my rifle, and if you have some questions, please leave comments in the comment section down below. I'll try to answer them as much as possible. One thing that is probably very apparent by this video is that I'm not a gun guy, and I know that seems kind of shocking when I say that, because people think, oh yeah, Prepared Wander, he's a gun dude. And I love guns. I have guns. I love shooting. Grew up hunting and doing shooting sports, and love looking at guns, handling guns, but I'm not a gun nut. I do not know all of the technical specifics. I don't go deep into the weeds about this kind of stuff. To me, it is a tool, and I just try to pick guns for me that have some good value to them, that are reliable, and that they don't break the bank, because I usually don't have a ton of money to spend on guns. So if I can find things that work, that hold up well, that are fairly inexpensive, that's what I tend to go for. And so far the PSA has done a phenomenal job. I can't complain about it at all. Really haven't done any kind of internal modifications to it yet, but the functioning of the weapon is running really well, and I'm happy about that. So you will be seeing more videos with this weapon on me. I'm going to be carrying this in the field. I'm going to be doing training exercises with some buddies. I'm going to be taking some classes with it. It is going to be something that I want to become very familiar with and very proficient with, because I think that's important. If you are going to carry something like this, if you are preparing for impending doom where you have to protect your family or yourself, and this is the weapon you've chosen, well, you better know how to use it, and you better know how it functions, and you better be used to carrying it in the field, and that's what I'm going to do. That is the goal for 2025. And as always, thank you so much for watching my videos, and we'll see you next time on The Prepared Wanderer.